Welcome, I'm Kenneth Andre, Tengenjutsu Master and Mystic Messenger. Everything that I share and say and do is for a reason. If there sounds like a contradiction, that isn't. Investigate further. Hope you're all doing well out there. So I've just jumped on here to share with you what I am receiving today, what I've come across. This morning, I checked the solar activities on the sun and I noticed this heart. I love symbology, but I noticed this symbol behind it. And I was thinking, that looks like a Hebrew letter, that. Again, the sun for signs. I love symbology. Things just jump out at me. I got a depth perception that's enhanced after doing this for so long now, with the works of Father being done in me. Things just jump out and I get disclosure. I get revelation and knowledge. So I went to do some research with the Hebrew letters. Through deduction, I found it. Now, let me just say, you see more of the letter when you watch the sun moving, okay? So there's the heart, and this is the Hebrew letter. Funny enough, it's 5, okay? Doing my research, that's what jumped out at me. Behold, to show, to reveal. It's a Hebrew letter and it's connected to the number 5 and we're in May. So that was confirmation for me. That was in the sun today. Now bear that in mind. If you pay attention and present by the time I finish the video and think about this, put precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, things will shout out at you, okay? So last night, River from Create with Love, bless her, posted this, Cradle of Lara. From what I mentioned in my previous video with the dandelion, when I saw this image, I did think straight away of the seeds in the dandelion. And I was like, River, that's amazing. And so I did some research and wow, my mouth was dropping. I was learning more about the capstone, holding codes with the Ascended Masters. After all my research over these years, especially with the masters mentioned by Thoth, etc., things were jumping out at me. Timelines, the things I mentioned in this channel in regards to me being from the future, coming back for a particular reason. My mouth was dropping. I was like, wow, River, this knowledge is absolutely amazing. It's true. I was grasping things on a deeper level and receiving more confirmation with what I've been talking about in this channel. Okay. So researching the Cradle of Lara, I'm going deeper and I'm like, I'm already practicing so much of what I'm reading here and learning about this expansion, this transformation, a shifting of timelines. I'm like, I'm starting to grasp why I'm here on a deeper level. I already mentioned many of us, we are code breakers and here to hold a wonderful new timeline, a wonderful future, the crowned arrow, etc. As I mentioned, it's God's peculiar people he select, his remnant, 144,000 that are erecting a wonderful future, and there is a branching off. Reading this knowledge, Cradle of Lara, coming across the capstone, and there was so many things I was coming across. I was like, wow, this is phenomenal. Then I come across the harp. Now, Dawn P, thank you, Dawn P. Blessings of love to you. Dawn P beat me to it before I can mention it here. You're awesome, Dawn P. Now, I received this symbol. It's a harp. It's the sign of Jupiter, 2 Jupiters put together. to do with the allegory of Back to the Future movie, a time jump, etc. And the harp, and I mentioned about the harp in connection with scripture, singing a new tune, where the fiery beams on the sea of glass sing clearly with a new thought, word and deed, that which is praiseworthy, excellent. We're focused on the future, not what the world's trying to tell us. We are focused at the center, in the middle, with Christ, not being lost in the maze or the labyrinth. We're literally focused on a wonderful future, turning back to the original blueprint in the expansion of ourselves with our eternal heavenly homes not made of human hands. I was getting the same language from Cradle of Lara, and it was connected to this consolation. Absolutely mind-blowing. Now, going deeper into the text, the Cradle of Lara, there was a language jumping out at me. The grid keepers. I'm aware there's these individuals out there that are grid keepers. I'm possibly also a part of this, holding timelines. There is this wonderful individual at this website where she thinks that she's a grid keeper. Listening to her story, I'm like, yeah, you are. Absolutely. Doris Cannon mentioned about the grid keepers, those who are here pinning a wonderful future. It's a bridge, a branching off, a translation, where a new world, the high octave, is bridged through a time stream created through the elect, God's chosen peculiar people that pin the future from the past. And there's this language of a retrograde, those who are pre-existing beings are here for a particular reason, to bridge over, connected with the magpie bird, as I've mentioned in the channel, that many would be saved and ushered over into a wonderful future, because there's a lot going on with reality many do not see. Things are not what they seem, and there's a lot going on. When I'm reading this knowledge, the Cradle of Lara, if I said that right, bear with me. Yeah, all good. As I'm going deeper into it, I'm receiving confirmation with the things I've learned. I'm learning more things and grasping the prophecy on a deeper level in regards to what's going on in us as a collective. Many of us are part of something very unique. As I mentioned, many of you are sealed and in the book of life. Now, looking at Stellarium, the harp was next to the swan. I was like, no way, that is awesome. But I noticed the fox. I've been seeing a lot of the fox lately. So I did some research with that, because that's just been popping up too much, where I know that farther upon my mind, pay attention. But before I talk about this fox, so back to River's post from Create with Love with the dandelion. Check this out. This blew me away today, and I've got to share it. It may sound strange. So after I did the talk about the dandelion, my experience with the dandelions, and then I received that post from River. Well, I'd actually, excuse me, cut the grass with a strimmer, went over the whole lot. Okay, and I really did a good job. I literally I went over it a few times and scraped the strimmer over the whole garden. Looking at it, there was nothing left that I could see. Only today I go back in the garden and I see the dandelions' heads everywhere, untouched. I'm looking at this thinking, hey, there they are. The pictures don't do it justice. But I'm in the garden scratching my head like, I went all over this with the strimmer. I literally scraped the garden with the strimmer. There should be no dandelion heads left. You can see they got no stem on them. They're just the heads. They're intact. And yet, when I pick one and blow on it, the seeds fly off. And I was like, I definitely went over this garden with the strimmer. Every inch of it. And there's all the heads. I'm like, alarm bells are ringing. Okay. With what I am learning about the Cradle of Lara and with what River posted, this is phenomenal. To my mind, looking at the grass, I knew this was divine intervention. You know, it was just trying to make sense of that, so to speak, rationalize it as the mind does. But I'm open. There's nothing that would surprise me when it comes to spirit. But I know what it is I'm looking at. I've had so many mystical experiences where they've been so huge. I've said to myself afterwards, I know what I've just seen. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I saw. I know what I saw. And again, I'm looking at the lawn. Sorry, I'm making a big deal of it because if you were there, if you had gone through what I had gone through with this garden, and the dandelion heads are perfectly all there before you. I was like, and with what I've just been reading, sorry, but this blew me away. And I've got to share and record and document. Bear in mind, I'm 5'11", okay? And I don't half stump around like a bull in a china shop. And I'm throwing this strimmer around again and again, treading all over the garden. How is this possible? I know it's possible. I'm trying to get this across to you. Amazing. So I thought I'd share that. I love to share this stuff to open your mind, all right? Because a lot of the things that I've experienced, I try to talk to people and straight away they rationalize it and they come up with all sorts of excuses. Only a lot of the things that I've gone through, you can't explain so easy. And I try to back everything up because we've been lied to about everything. And I know I'm not here to prove myself or seek approval or anything like that. I'm here to show you something very unique, different. That's to do with spirit. That you'll be so open-minded and see with your own eyes. It will step you out of the narrow concrete reality pasted over your mind like a Faraday cage. Reality is fluid and you're in the realm of the spirit right here, right now. And you can heal yourself. You can stop aging. You can step into eternity. You can put death under your feet, as we're told to in the Bible, our final enemy, that illusion. The things that I've learned, I try to back it all up, that you would go away and prove me wrong and see for yourself with spirit, where spirit will jump in and show you that to our loving Father, to spirit, to God, all things are possible. Okay, let's get back to the fox. Boy, it's hot. Okay, so as I mentioned, I noticed the fox. Okay, there's the harp, there's the swan. I posted in my community tab an advert from KFC. This where we see the fox on the checkerboard, which is symbolic of the abyss, the pit, the host body system. And in the scene, you also see 1111. When you look at the wall next to the fox, you will see two shirts, like football shirts with 11 on them. So I'm like, right, I need to investigate. I noticed Steve Fletcher 222 posted this. All right. In the secret teachings of Thomas, the secret gospels of Thomas, sorry, Jesus mentions that on his return, he's bringing a fire. His Father, who is a consuming flame. Our God is a consuming flame. And he says, I'm bringing a fire. And it's coming upon this world. And I'm going to watch it blaze. Now, I know the true interpretation of this is to do with a spiritual fire. A change of consciousness, of humanity. A massive change. And so symbolically, the screen, the world, we see a lot of fires. Just denoting to us, with those with eyes to see, learning symbology, that our God, the consuming flame, is here. But I do a bit more investigation. So I went to the secret teachings of Osiris and I put a word search for foxes. And sure enough, it came up. Okay. You can pause that and read it. And it was connected to fire. It's connected to solar activities, with the bull on the Egyptian hieroglyphs pointing to the ribs with the solar flares. The sun is a projector. Those who are first will be last, those who are last will be first. It was so paramount that you turn to the Father and turn to the light while you can. Because those who didn't find it fit to acknowledge God, you're thrown back into the lake of fire. And with this new code and spectrum of light that's now present, it's going to be a horrendous transformation for you. And I think what I went through was horrendous. I tell you something. Last year, I was reading something in the Bible and it put shackles at the back of my neck, because it made this statement: even though you are my children and what I've put you through was hard, can you imagine what's going to happen to those who didn't find it fit to acknowledge me? When I read that, I was like, ooh, I am very grateful and very humble, Father. Even though you broke me, tore me to pieces, you've taught me there is restoration and healing, and you've transformed me. How grateful I am. And I'm ready for the expansion of myself in that wonderful future, this timeline we are now transitioning into, which is connected with the dandelions, connected with the harvest, connected with the angels. Jesus Christ is all about the heavenly origins, the angels. He doesn't mention about the earthly man, Adam. He said, it's nothing to do about the earthly origins. I'm here about the heavenly origins, the harvest. And that's because of the nature of the Lord Jesus Christ in us, the living word, the new covenant that's written on our heart. The carpenter with the architect, as I mentioned in the channel, and I come across again in the text with the cradle of Lara. I was like, this is all connected. It's mind-blowing. But yes, there is this transformation, a rebirth. From chaos comes order, from destruction comes the new. This is what is going on. And so it does seem as though many of us are holding the new grid, the original blueprint, okay, with our investments. For the harvest is for the angels, as told us in the Bible, for a wonderful future. Again, Father said, it's not my will to hurt you, but to give you a wonderful future that will prosper you. We're heading back home. Home is also referred to here, and this wonderful realm where righteousness dwells, where the world starts to resonate with you. It starts to radiate this feeling where you belong. And so for a time, we are pinned to the future, which whereby we were coming out of an old timeline, an old age. That's the best way to say it, I think. And so as we are the pools coming out of the deep, and there is these new timelines, the high octave with the capstone, the divine code from the future, from the pre-existing beings sent back here, God's elect, his remnant, the old souls, the star seeds, etc. We're holding a future where humanity would actually survive. In the Bible, he says, I will intervene, otherwise there be no flesh left. And that was confusing to me years ago, but now I get it. Because we're putting on eternity now with incorruptibility. We are new creatures, the sons of the Most High. We want to go forward. Those who are first will be last. Those who are last will be first. Those who are last will be first. Let me say it again. Those who were first will be last. Those who are last will be first. We're groaning inwardly, bursting at the seams. We've received these images of a wonderful future. All prophecy must be fulfilled. What comes next? Restoration, healing. But there is this, should we say, destruction and breaking down. The lie, the evils vanish, as we're told in the scripture. For many of us, we are protected and safe, provided for. And so we go forward, encouraging each other with the good news of this wonderful future. As we go forward, you're going to see some very metaphysical and supernatural transformations occur with your lives. Okay. So please bear with me if I was a bit all over the place in this video. It's hot, and I was trying to articulate this whole experience I had with the dandelion heads again. That was phenomenal. To my mind, there's no way there was anything left of the dandelions after I've been in the garden. And there's a message within that itself. And so I share that with you. So I'm going to leave it there. I think that's all I have for now. Look forward then to the next video. I will keep you posted any more that comes in. I'm Kenneth Andre, Tenjitsu Master and Mystic Messenger. I love you guys. Thank you, Dawn P. Blessings and love to you.